My name is Fatima. I was born in a small village near Kabul, Afghanistan. My story is about love, pain, and the difficult life of women in my country. I want to tell you everything that happened to me. It is a story that many girls in Afghanistan know too well. I was 17 years old when my father told me about my future. He said I would marry Haji Ahmad, a man who was 62 years old. My father was a poor farmer who could not pay his debts. Haji Ahmad was rich and owned many shops in Kabul. He promised to help our family if I became his wife. I had dreams of going to school and becoming a teacher. I loved to read books and learn new things. But in our village, girls had no choice about their future. My mother told me that marriage was my duty. She said I must accept this life and be grateful. The day I met Haji Ahmad, I was very afraid. He came to our house with his brother and other men. He was a tall man with a long gray beard and serious eyes. His clothes were expensive, and he carried a walking stick. He looked at me for only a few seconds and then talked to my father. My wedding day came 1 month later. I wore a heavy red dress that belonged to my grandmother. The ceremony was in our village mosque. Many people came to celebrate, but I felt like I was dreaming. I could not believe that my childhood was ending so quickly. After the wedding, I moved to Haji Ahmad's house in Kabul. It was a beautiful old house with high walls and a large garden. The rooms had colorful carpets and expensive furniture. There were servants who cooked and cleaned the house. But despite all this beauty, I felt like a prisoner. Haji Ahmad had 2 sons from his first wife, who died many years ago. Both sons were older than me and lived in different cities. They visited sometimes with their wives and children. The women were kind to me, but I always felt different. I was too young to be their mother, but too old to be their sister. My husband was not cruel to me. He bought me beautiful clothes and jewelry. He never shouted at me or hurt me. But he was always busy with his work and rarely talked to me. Our house was quiet, and I spent most days alone. I had a small room where I could read books. Haji Ahmad had a library with many old books. Reading became my escape from loneliness. I learned about different countries and people. Books helped me forget about my sadness. Months passed slowly in that big house. I tried to be a good wife and keep the house clean. I learned to cook traditional Afghan food that Haji Ahmad liked. I took care of the garden and planted flowers, but I always felt empty inside. One day, I found Haji Ahmad sitting in the garden, looking very tired. He seemed different, older and weaker than before. I brought him tea and sat quietly beside him. For the first time, he really looked at me and seemed to see me. That was when I noticed how sad his eyes were. The next few days, Haji Ahmad stayed home instead of going to work. He walked slowly and breathed with difficulty. I helped him with his medicine and made special soup for him. He began to tell me stories about his life and his first wife. I learned that he had loved her very much and missed her every day. Winter came early that year in Kabul. The mountains around the city became white with snow. Our garden looked beautiful, but cold. Haji Ahmad became sicker and could not leave his bed. I spent all my time taking care of him. During those long winter nights, something changed between us. He told me about his childhood and his dreams when he was young. He said he had always wanted to travel and see the world, but business and family responsibility kept him in Kabul. I understood that he had also given up his dreams, just like me. I began to feel sorry for this old man who seemed so lonely. He had money and a big house, but no real happiness. His sons visited him, but they were always busy with their own lives. I was the only person who really listened to him. Slowly, I began to care about what happened to him. One evening, while I was reading to him, he held my hand. His hand was cold and thin, but his touch was gentle. He told me that I had brought light into his dark life. He said he was sorry for taking away my youth and dreams. For the first time, I saw tears in his old eyes. That night, I realized that I had learned to love him. Not the passionate love I had dreamed about as a girl, but a deep, quiet love born from understanding and kindness. I loved him because he was good to me and treated me with respect. I loved him because we were both lonely people who found each other. Spring came to Kabul with beautiful flowers and warm weather. But Haji Ahmad was getting weaker every day. The doctor said his heart was very sick and could not be fixed. I knew that I was going to lose him soon. The thought made me cry when I was alone. Every morning, I helped him sit in the garden to enjoy the sun. I read his favorite poems and brought him fresh fruit. He smiled more often and seemed peaceful. He said that these were the happiest months of his life. I wished we had more time together. One beautiful spring morning, I found him sleeping peacefully in his bed. He looked calm and young, as if all his worries were gone. The doctor said he died without pain during the night. I held his cold hand and cried for the first time since our wedding. I had lost the only person who truly understood me. The funeral was very big because Haji Ahmad was an important man. Many people from Kabul came to pay their respects. His sons thanked me for taking care of their father. They said he had been happier in his last year than ever before. But they could not understand the real relationship we had built. After the funeral, I had to decide about my future. Haji Ahmad had left me the house and enough money to live comfortably. His sons said I could marry again if I wanted, but I knew that I would never find another love like ours. What we had was special and could not be replaced. Now, I live alone in our beautiful house in Kabul. I take care of the garden and read books in the library. I think about our quiet conversations and gentle moments together. I remember how he held my hand and told me stories. I keep his favorite tea glass on the table as a memory. Sometimes, young girls from the neighborhood visit me. They ask me about marriage and what it means to be a wife. I tell them that love can grow in unexpected places. I tell them that respect and kindness are more important than age or money. But I also tell them to fight for their dreams when they can. Many people say I was lucky to marry a rich man. They think I lived an easy life with servants and beautiful things. They do not understand that money cannot buy happiness or love. They do not know how lonely I was, or how much I missed my family. They cannot see the love that grew between two lonely hearts. I am still young, only 20 years old now. I have many years of life ahead of me, but I will always remember the man who taught me about real love. He showed me that love is not about taking, but about giving. He gave me everything he could, and I gave him my heart in return. This is my story from Afghanistan. It is a story about a girl who lost her freedom, but found love. It is about an old man who found happiness in his final days. It is about how two people can save each other from loneliness. And it is about how love comes in many different forms. I hope that one day, girls in my country will have more choices. I hope they can choose their own husbands and follow their dreams. But until that day comes, I want them to know something important. Even in the most difficult situations, love can find a way. And sometimes, the most unexpected love is the most precious of all.